Let me tell you, I was molested by my mother. I am healed. I was addicted to drugs. I mean, weed, drinking. I was an alcohol at 12 because I had all these things and memories from my mom. I was trying to black out and drown out. I couldn't. I went through every form of therapy. Every form. You know what helped me? God. You know what helped me? My father. And I went and I asked, I said, help me. God removed the desire out of me to smoke and drink. The desire is gone. No AA, no book, no, and I'm telling you real shit. No book, no group, none of that helped me. God took this, it was like a spirit. It's like an exorcism that had to happen. It was something feeding on me. And I fed it with alcohol and I fed it with weed. Right? And God healed. See, when God heal you, you don't need no more band-aids.
Now, first and foremost, if you don't believe in God, if you don't like God, if you don't like any of these type of topics, just scroll. We don't need your negativity in the comments. We don't need to hear how he's not real. Just because you haven't experienced some things doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I find it real funny that people don't believe in God. Who the fuck made planets? Who the hell made this world? You guys are so insane to not think that God doesn't exist. But like I said, you'll never know that because you're clueless to what God can do and you're clueless to how God can heal you. So let's get right into the video. Now, first and foremost, I just want to say to all the men and women who have been molested, raped, touched inappropriately by their parents or family, I am so sorry. But right now we're going to talk about strictly men getting touched because there's so many videos of people talking about women all day long. I love social media because I love that these topics are now coming out to light. There are so many men who are touched in a lot of ethnicities, because I don't want to just be like, oh, black community. No, there's been men who have been touched in all races, abused, physically or mentally or emotionally. And this is something that's not talked about. I fully believe that a lot of women need psychological tests ran before they have children. I believe that if any woman has had drug abuse, substance abuse, or anything of that nature, you should not be allowed to have kids. You don't have finances for it, you shouldn't have kids. You got issues psychologically, you shouldn't have kids. Having a son is so detrimental if you don't know what you're doing. And the fact that there's so many sick women out here who birth a child for 8 to 9 months just to molest him, rape him, or touch him is so fucking weird. And I think it's even weirder when people go, this doesn't happen to boys. Yes, it does. I feel like it happens a lot more to boys because we're so cautious about girls and, oh, protect little Sarah, protect little Megan. And we're not worried about the little boys. And they're over here getting touched as well too. D-Ray made a video on how 2 grown women made him go down on them when he was younger. And he talked about how in his daily life, he can't even go down on women because it's that bad. And the women in the video and the people in the interview were laughing. It's not funny. Guys, this is not funny. Are you not understanding that when somebody gets molested or touched when they're younger, they'll have so many issues with women in the future? Not being comfortable, not being able to open up, looking at women in a disrespectful light because of the way their mother is. You know how we talk about, women not having good mothers and it molds them to be competitive with other women or hate other women. What do you think happens to young men? The first woman who is supposed to love, protect him, cherish him, and teach him what a good woman is his mother. And she destroyed his outlook by touching him, harming him, and forcing him to do stuff. That is fucking sick. And women like that should be fucking taken out because that is sick. I could not imagine having a child and doing that. What the fuck? And look what he just said, 12 years old, drinking and smoking. I'm a firm believer that God cures. I want to tell you a little something. I went through an extensive amount of trauma, extensive amount of abuse, and I've been in therapy since I was 10 years old because of how bad my trauma was, where I stopped talking for a little bit. I had cigarette burns on my back because of how abusive my mother was. I dealt with a lot of stuff growing up. I've taken abuse counseling classes. I've had therapy. I've tried everything in the entire book, y'all, and I never felt whole. I always felt like something was missing. I always felt scattered. I always felt sick to my stomach. I felt like there was nothing I could do to make myself feel better. And then I think it was about 4 years ago, right before I did social media, I started getting into God. I started reading, the Bible verses. I showed you guys my Bible. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. There's even Bible apps. I don't know what it was, but the moment I gravitated towards God, it seemed like everything started opening. My life had purpose. I had meaning. My depression went away. I felt a little bit less anxious. And I felt like that hard exterior of all the trauma I went through started lightening up to where I actually felt like it was worth living. I was worthy of being here. And like I said, a lot of you guys wouldn't understand that because you probably have never even gotten close to God. But what's to say you don't try it? What's to say you don't pray every day and see what happens? Think about this, y'all. You right now could say, oh, all the bad things happen to me. You know, you'll say, oh, I don't have good luck. And it happens. And you end up having bad things happen to you. So what's to say you walk in faith with the Lord and you might not have great things happen to you? What's to say you don't walk with the Lord and now that void that you had is filled? What's to say you don't walk with the Lord and now those anger issues are healed? What's to say you don't walk with the Lord and now you know how to articulate your words, you found your purpose? I used to hate love and hate certain things. And now I'm like more open to it without being scared. I'm able to like be more loving, be more open, be more expressive, all due to God. I'm able to say I love you to people, and I never used to be able to say that. It was so weird and cringy to me. There's a lot of things, y'all, that I feel like God can help you with. And one of the main things I feel like God does is it takes away that clouded judgment. It takes away that loss of purpose. It takes away that anxiety, that depression. I feel like when you give it to God and you actually believe he's real and have faith in him, things will start happening for you. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Every man and woman who has been through this type of stuff, I'm so sorry. I apologize. The first person in your life didn't take care of you. I apologize. Nobody's seen you as human. Nobody validated you when you were a kid and they abused your love. I am so sorry to any man or woman who has been through extensive amount of rape or abuse. I truly wish that never happened to you, and I wish I could take away your pain. And to all the parents and stuff who do stuff like this, Jesus Christ, I pray to God that karma hits strong, because that is so sick. You set your son up for the worst thing in the world. Because what's really sad is these parents bring us into this world to destroy us sometimes. And nobody deserves that. Imagine if he would have drank and lost his life. You never know, y'all. If you're 12 years old drinking and smoking, you don't know what that does to somebody's mindset. What happens if he never would have found God? What if he would have got into hardcore shit? Then what? I promise you guys, find a purpose, heal from whatever hurts you, and move forward and become a better person. Don't let that hurt consume you. Don't let that pain consume and hurt you. If you can in the future, find yourself a good partner and make a good family. But heal the parts of you that you need to, so that way you can go out and search for love when you need to. And get around people who care about you. Stay away from people who do stuff like this. I'm sorry, y'all. To men and women who have gone through stuff like this, I couldn't imagine being cool with a mother who put their hands or did anything inappropriately to me. I cut people off over disrespecting me. Won't talk to you for years for doing certain things to me. So if I were you guys, I think that a lot of you guys can do better off on your own without this negativity and people in your family that don't love you. Please understand you're loved, you're worthy. And I'm so sorry again a million times to people who have gone through this, because y'all, that's sad. Oh man, I couldn't imagine having a kid, y'all, and doing that. That's so sick. And I pray to all the men who go through this stuff, I pray you seek help. I pray that you find peace in every day. And I really pray that you don't let this stuff consume you, because as a man, I know that a lot of people aren't there for you and there's nowhere to turn to. So I hope that you do get therapy. I hope that you do start reading the Bible, or you find your purpose. God bless you.